This podcast is produced by the Harwood Productions Podcast Network. To learn more about the network and to find more of our shows, visit us online at www.harwoodpodcast.com.
Hi, I'm Cindy Harris, and in this episode, I'm going to share with you my recipe for hazelnut chocolate swirl ice cream. This ice cream is a vanilla-based ice cream that I've added frangelico, which is a hazelnut liqueur to, and then we swirl it with a great Nutella chocolate hazelnut sauce. We're going to start by making our vanilla ice cream base. So in a medium-sized saucepan, I'm going to put in 2 cups of a 2% milk. I'm going to take this over to the stove and put it on a medium-high heat and bring it to boil. That takes about 12 to 13 minutes. Now while my milk is heating up, I'm going to get my egg yolks ready. So in my mixer with my whisk attachment, I'm going to take 5 egg yolks and start breaking those up. I'm going to put the mixer on just for a minute or so. And then I'm going to add a half a cup of sugar plus another 2 tablespoons. And I'm going to put this on a medium-high speed, and I'm going to let this whisk together for about 2 minutes. You can tell that the milk is starting to come to a boil when you start to see a skim over the top, and then you'll start to see movement underneath that. That means the milk is coming to a boil. We don't want to actually see the bubbles breaking the surface. So once the milk gets to this point, we can add that to our egg yolks. I'm going to put my mixer on a low speed, and I'm going to take the hot milk and I'm just going to drizzle it a little, about a tablespoon at a time, into these eggs. If we were to put all of the milk at once in, it would start to cook the eggs, and that would be a problem. So just about a tablespoon at a time. And then once you get about 3/4 of the milk in, then you can go ahead and pour the rest in. Then I'm going to turn the mixer off. I'm going to take the pan just as it is. I'm not going to wash it out or anything. I'm going to put it back on the burner on a low heat. And I'm going to take our egg yolk and milk mixture. I'm going to pour it right back in the pan. Now at this point, what we need to do is bring this mixture up to 170 degrees. So I'd suggest, if you have an instant read thermometer, take its temperature. I'm starting out about 142 degrees. So this is going to take a few minutes, but we do want to cook this on a low heat. If we were to cook it too fast, then it might curdle, and then we wouldn't be able to make ice cream out of it. So use a low heat, use your heat-resistant spatula, and just stir it around, and then every now and then take its temperature. Now while I'm stirring the custard, I want to tell you a little bit about this contraption I have here. This is an 8-cup measuring cup, and then this is just a little strainer that I've put in the top of it. The reason I have this is that once I get this custard up to 170 degrees, I'm going to take it and pour it through this strainer. Many times when you're cooking eggs and milk together, sometimes the egg has a little bit of white that gets stuck with the yolk, and that starts to cook really quickly and gets kind of lumpy. And so I want to strain those out. We've reached 170 degrees. I'm going to turn the stove off, and then I'm going to take this mixture and I'm just going to pour it right through my strainer. Now I'm going to let this sit on the stove here and cool for about 30 minutes. It needs to get to lukewarm. This is too hot to put in the refrigerator. And then once it's cooled down, I'm going to put some plastic over the top and I'll put it in the refrigerator to chill down completely for about 3 hours. So our custard base is totally chilled down. So now we're going to add some flavorings to it. So the first thing I want to add to give it just a little bit of richness, because of the 2% milk that we used, I'm going to add 1/4 cup of heavy cream. And then to give this some additional hazelnut flavor, I'm going to add some Frangelico, which is a hazelnut liqueur. Now, if you didn't want to use this, you could put in 2 teaspoons of vanilla, but I'm going to put in 1/4 cup of this Frangelico. And then I'm just going to stir this heavy cream and Frangelico into my custard base, and then this is ready to put in our ice cream machine. Now I'm going to go ahead and get my ice cream maker set up. So here is my chilled bowl. Put that in first, then the dasher, and then the top. And then I want this to start running. Then I'm going to take the ice cream base and pour it right down the center. Now I'm going to let this go ahead and process for about 20 minutes. It's been 20 minutes and the ice cream has started to nicely freeze. Now remember, because it has the liqueur in it, it's going to be a little more like soft serve at this point, but that's okay. What we're going to do now, though, is we have to harden it off, and we want to go ahead and put our chocolate hazelnut swirl in. So let me show you how we're going to do that. To create the swirls in the ice cream, I'm going to use some chocolate hazelnut spread. This is called Nutella. It is really good. Usually you can find it in the aisle where the jams and jellies are at the grocery store. So what I have here is a freezer container, and I'm going to take and put a few spoonfuls of the ice cream. And you can see that this is still pretty soft, but that's okay. We're going to put it in the freezer for a couple of hours. So there I put a little bit of ice cream, and then I'm going to take and put some of the Nutella just right on top. Like this. It doesn't have to be exact, because remember, when you go to scoop ice cream, you just catch everything that you can. And then I'll put a little bit more ice cream. A little bit more of the Nutella. And then the rest of the ice cream. Now I'm going to put a lid on this, and I'm going to put this straight away into the freezer. I'm going to let this harden off for at least an hour or 2. Well, the ice cream's been in the freezer for a couple of hours, so let's scoop it up. Now it's really nice and scoopable, and the idea is to get a little bit of that chocolate hazelnut spread in it as well, and you can see it kind of swirls through the ice cream. Now here's another thing that you can do too. What I did is I took a little bit of that Nutella and I microwaved it for about 30 seconds so it makes it nice and drizzly like this. Then what you can do is just drizzle a little bit more on top. Well, if you'd like to give this ice cream a try at home, just go to our website, visit the Sundaes with Cindy's show notes, and I'll have the recipe there for you. And as always, if you have any questions, please send me an email. I'll see you next time.